I just got over that sickness I had on the last week, just about 3 days ago, I started feeling better. Couldn't feel better though, right?
Yeah.
So,
You know, I was telling
just
you,
angry.
Paul Simpson, the probably kid, he did find something. Well, he was at the doctor's last week, and he was, you know, he said he, on his last day of antibiotics,
I probably should have done it about that. It was just chest cold, so it was, it just wouldn't go away. But it's not now. This is a long time. I've had knee replacement triggers, and I've been on a bicycle quicker than this thing. So I got your voice now. Okay. Thank you.
you feel with it.
I'm cool with it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
So just want to let you know, we are live streaming, we're having issues with Wi-Fi and other things. So,
Can we view it on YouTube? Where do we view it?
Yep.
YouTube?
we have a YouTube channel, so,
Is it Cumberland County or what's it?
yep, Cumberland County.
Okay.
Yep, so they kind of see a lot there, so.
I find myself lately watching more YouTube TV than I do anything else. Just looking at different stuff. It's pretty interesting.
So board meetings that are being started,
Okay, good.
the live stream, then you go back.
Excellent. Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Well, let's say we could go to the outside the other, if you could, if you
Under the desk.
Yeah. As long as the kid's not visible.
Where'd you park? I didn't see your phone.
I got my truck, heavy truck, well, you, that's okay, well, I got a license for 36,000, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this.
They, trailer license,
I don't know.
25, 20. Yeah, I'm gonna drive that, years, and got it made, and I'll be honest with you, it's much easier to see out of that.
You said a fire.
So,
That big SUV, but that truck's.
yeah, and the SUV is high, but the truck's a lot higher, it's got no tube. I've got a transfer tank full of fuel. I'm about 9,000 pounds. So if something hits me,
They're gonna notice it.
it's not going to bother me much.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the fifth wheel back. I took the fifth wheel out a few months ago because my cattle trailer just loosened it off. And I took the fifth wheel out and took that. And my ball is right under my fifth wheel. That fifth wheel has about another 500 or 600 pounds. I mean, it's not something I want to pick up.
Is the front of that truck, aluminum or plastic? My Jeep, I couldn't believe it. I was in an accident like a year ago, almost a year ago. And I couldn't believe the Jeep was plastic. Shocked.
It's aluminum. I have a little plastic, like between your bumper and your, where the grill starts to go up. I've got a little, actually, it's not plastic, it's rubber. But, you crawl up under that, you know. It's the same for me, that they put over there. So, 550, 650, 750, truck. This truck, my head was in. The man that bought the truck out of that ordered it in 2015 special. Back then, they was not pushing me number 6-speed transmission, was the same 10-speed. Plus, it's also got a rotary gear engine running out. And, it's built heavier, I mean, it's a super duty, but it's built heavier. Like,
Are the extra gears between 6 and 10 higher or lower?
I got a different ratio, and then the gears are spaced a little closer together, either lower, gears or pulling.
Yeah.
And got twin turbos.
Huh.
So, it's not bad on fuel. I'm running around like I'm doing now, it's 15 and 16, which my navigator is 18 and a half.
My wife's F-150, only gets 18 lanes.
And, now I carry 50 gallons of fuel in the tank for the truck. And then the transfer tank, 100 gallons. And, diesel 8 pounds per gallon. So if I got 1 gallon, I've got 800 pounds I'm all around, and I probably got four to 500 pounds of stuff in the fuel pump. Because I got the battery to drive and transfer from into the fuel pump. And then I've got 3 jacks. Each kit with a gooseneck. Couple pry bars, and ratchet straps down with, I'm using my equipment trail. Some chain binders. I like the old binders.
You can still get that out.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And, later ones, I got the middle hitch on the back. That's probably 50, 60 pounds. That's a 15-ton. That's a 30-ton rated hitch. So it's good. The mechanic, I bought him the truck in 20, and, I just decided to run this from home because they have 195,000.
Yeah, it lasts forever.
And, those were diesels, truck. And just brought it on home and was, Alfred is due to get another one this year, but I don't know if I'll do it or not. The one he's got is in good shape, and he drives it home and all. And I just bought last year 4 more road tractors. How do you educate? I'm friends with the regional VP for Schultz, for Central Region. And she called and she said, "4 road tractors. We're taking it back, but not paying it. How much? They go, they own the balance. And I said, "Okay." She told me what they were. And I was having a read. I rented 4 road tractors from Finsky. And we ended up, we pulled for Target from that distribution to the stores. And Target had a contract with them to pull from Procter down to the warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio, to distribute. And on a Sunday night, they called everybody and said, "We're shutting down at 9 a.m. tomorrow." So they made a quick call. Would you couldn't buy any power units from them because everything was tied up in bankruptcy. So, all this we got. And that was a good chance to turn the coalition back in. So, you know, when I told her I had, she said, here's the deal. It was like 400 something like that. She said, if you will really take it, I can give you 12 months to go in here. She said, because we don't want to carry it on our books because when the feds come in to examine us, it's on the books as bad money.
Yeah.
She told me, she said, now I've done stuff before that. I think, you know, they might, the feds don't care what they loan you money for, as long as it's for money. Or track that with a big 3.3 cat. They didn't say we.
See, it's nice to have relationships, that's what it comes down to.
And of course, if I had a problem, I had a problem one time with my personal debit card. Charged that way. I went to pick up some stuff at Pringles before we go on time. And instead of charging $8, the guy charged $800. And I called him again, and this was on the Thursday night. She said, I called back, I said, we can't do anything about it, because of the time factor, so like Monday or Tuesday. And I called again and said, you know, what, yes. And she said, we were 7:30 that night, she called me back, and said, everything's clear, there's money to be like credited to the account, you know, give me a check.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
Six thirty?
It is.
I've got that time.
Okay.
All right.
We'll call tonight's planning commission meeting to order. Ms. Johnson, if you call roll for us.
Matt Seal, Steve Donahue,
Here.
Kevin Meadows, Hubert Allen,
Here.
Steve Rosen,
Here.
Harry Donahue, William Flippin.
Here.
Alright, and Mr. Chairman, being the organizational meeting, we will open the floor. My computer to work here. First item on the agenda is the election of officers, and we will open the floor for nominations for the office of chairman.
Madam Secretary, I nominate Mr. Rosen to continue as chairman for another year.
And let's see, Matt Seal is not here, Stephen Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows is not here, Hubert Allen,
Yes.
and Mr. Flippin.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Rosen is now the chairman. I'll turn the meeting over to you.
Congratulations, or sympathy.
I humbly accept. Thank you very much. It's hard to believe it's been a year. That was pretty quick. But thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, we need to go over the bylaws.
We actually need to open the floor for nominations for vice chair.
Oh, okay. We'll open the floor for nominations for vice chair. I'll nominate Mr. Hubert Allen.
Do we have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Rosen,
Yes.
and Mr. Flippin.
Thank you all.
Okay, now we can move on to bylaws. So, Mr. Chairman, you'll see on pages 1 through 6 of your board packet, you'll see some small, slight revisions to the 2024 bylaws. And Mr. Meadows has arrived at 6:32.
Apologize, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
You missed the elections. You missed the elections.
Yes.
So on pages, starting on page 4 of your packet, Article 7 under meeting 7.2, there was a change. The secretary shall notify the members by electronic mail or phone at least 5 days before a special meeting, stating the time, place, and purpose of the meeting. This was a change. Originally, it was notified by mail in a written notice to all members. We don't send anything by mail anymore, so I just updated that item there. On page 5, there is a new section at the request of the commission. Individuals of the public desiring to speak at a public hearing or during the general public comment period must first provide their identifying information on a sign-up sheet prior to the meeting being called to order. Only residents of Cumberland County or individuals owning real property in Cumberland County are permitted to speak at a public hearing or during the general public comment period. This is the same thing that the Board of Supervisors currently has in their bylaws as well.
On the sign-up sheet, is there now a space? I know they read their name.
District,
Is there a space?
phone number,
Is there
email.
we haven't read their address now? Is that what this is saying? Is that gonna be included?
It just has
specifically
their
say address.
identifying information.
In the past, we've had the address.
Yeah, sometimes they read, sometimes they don't. I'm just wondering if this is not requiring them to put their address or not.
So it just has identifying information.
Yeah.
We can require that. I believe it's on the sign-up sheet. Some people do, some people don't, but we do normally ask when they get up to speak that they provide their address.
Yeah, okay.
That way we do know that they live in the county or they'll say that they own property in the county.
Just make your way is fine, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
And is this the time to address situations like that, or are you gonna finish up and then go back and ask the commissioners?
Up to you. We can start now if you want, if it's regarding this section.
It is regarding that.
Sure.
And section similar to it, it's 7:10:3.
Sure.
A couple of things. One is, that this does not address anybody who may be a representative for the property owner, such as an attorney or an architect or a manager of a facility or something like that that would like to speak for the resident. It doesn't account for that. And the way that this reads, they would not be allowed to speak. The second thing is, what about residents in neighboring counties that may be affected by the project? They also would not be allowed to speak. Is that how we want it?
As I understand this, that they would not be able to speak because they're not a resident or property owners in the county. I think you have a legitimate concern about someone representing someone, an attorney or I think that's a very good point.
I mean, we have people speak all the time that aren't residents. They're,
That's kind of what we're trying to handle, I see with this, so that more residents would be able to speak and we wouldn't be barred down of people who have no property. We're representing the citizens of Cumberland County. We're not representing citizens of Powhatan, Prince Edward, Buckingham, or citizens of Washington State or Oregon State or wherever. Most localities now have adopted this. We are not the first one to be doing this. The board has done this for a number of years. Goochland has the same provision. as far as an attorney or a manager or somebody that has request for a CUP or a project before us, they would be allowed to speak because they have a vested interest in the project.
Well,
That
Does
would
it
be,
say that?
it does not say that.
We're just making that up right
we've always had people,
I know we've always done that.
now. Yeah.
we've always
We've done
had
that, but that's
people,
not what this says.
but this is only for a public hearing.
Yes, you're right.
Or
Individuals
for
from
the
the public
general public.
desire to speak at a public hearing or during general public comments.
But an attorney representing a company, a project manager representing a company or whatever, is not speaking during the public hearing period. They're speaking to us, presenting the project. They're not speaking during the public hearing to make a comment on it or whatever. They are actually in their official capacity making a presentation.
Does 10.4 address that issue? Just asking. You're talking about 10.3, so 10.4, it says, citizens desiring to speak, they sign, well, excuse me, it says, technical presentations by qualified persons or firms and allow interested citizens to speak.
Yes, so that's not what we've done either. So that would be on new as well, or at least we practice. Because right now we have solar company give us a big long presentation. We don't have it summarized.
It's hard to summarize some of these solar projects.
I understand, I'm just saying that if we want to practice what we've been doing, then we need to change this language.
How do you think it should read?
Well, that is a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not an attorney, so I wouldn't know how to write it necessarily. But I can see where there's some gaps and where there are some issues with how we currently do it. I mean, I would like to see there be a way for, I think of something like I'll give you a scenario. Let's say grandma owns the property, right? But grandma's in a nursing home. And so the daughter comes and speaks, but she doesn't live her residence isn't there.
Is she a qualified person?
She would be
So-
qualified most likely either through use of power of attorney or court-appointed
She is a family member,
guardian for grandma.
so I would support her being able to speak.
Yes.
100%. No
Yes.
question
What
about
about, so
that. I think what this is saying is someone that's not,
She's not a
I
property
can't
owner.
even think of the right
She's
term.
not a resident.
Yeah,
But she has most likely, in a situation like that, she would probably be power of attorney, which would make her the person in charge of the property. She could speak.
and the discretion is left up to chair, correct?
say that again, Mr. Mills.
The discretion is left up to you.
Right.
Per 10.4.
Well, that's not what 10.4 says. It says the chairman shall summarize the matter before the commission, allow technical presentations by qualified persons or firms, and allow interested citizens to speak.
Well, you're talking about the solar, allow technical presentations by qualified persons or firms, that covers
That
a
would
legal
cover,
representative or a manager or whatever.
yeah, that would cover like Green Solar coming to speak about,
Yeah.
about the solar plant. Yes.
Here's an example that happened with the resident. Remember, one of the landowners down there brought in a expert on,
Aerial view.
how much nutrients would be going into the reservoir based on what they were asking, the buffer to do. You know, he was saying that if you allow them to cut the grass and remove the clippings, less nutrients would be going in than, you know, if you didn't do anything, or whatever. But he was an expert, he was, you know, agronomist or whatever, and he spoke. Do we have something in here that would allow someone to do that, to come and speak for someone? Even
Well, I think
their
that-
project.
I think 10.4 covers that.
Well, but there's also, I mean, 10.4 is poorly worded in a number of ways, and it contradicts 10.3. For example, in 10.3, it says, individuals or publics wishing to speak during a public hearing or during a general public comment period must first provide, so forth, information, sign up sheet, all this kind of stuff, right? 10.4 says the chairman wants to summarize, qualified persons affirmed. The next sentence, citizens desiring to speak may sign up. There's a difference between may and must. So
They're not going to speak unless they sign.
is it possible for them to speak without signing up?
So I think you take that line out.
Okay, well then 10.4 should need to be changed.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Take
I
out
just like to-
citizens desiring to speak and sign up, take out that line. Take out that sentence.
Well,
Because it's addressed in the one before.
I mean, if you take out that sentence starting with citizens, then it would be more in compliance with 10.3.
Right, because then you have 10.4 would address solely those who are qualified persons or firms and somebody that he allows to speak. And it gives him the discretion of the time also. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you want to say, Ms. Johnson?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify. So Article 7 is regarding regular meetings and general citizen comments.
Yes.
So we can clarify 7.4 and take out in that first sentence, public hearing, and just reference general citizen comment period. And that will clarify section 7.4. And then if we go to Article 10 on page 6, 10.3, and remove during general public comment period on that first and second line. And then that will clarify 10.3. And then like Mr. Meadows was just saying on 10.4, take out that second sentence where it says citizens desiring to speak may sign up with the secretary prior to the meeting.
Do you want to take that sentence out, or do you want to change it?
I would just take it out because we're addressing public comment here earlier. And I really don't see where we need that in 10.4.
Can I ask a question related to this again? What was the impetus for this?
Just to mirror the Board of Supervisors bylaws as far as allowing public comments or general public comments and hearings as far as who can speak.
When was that changed? Or has that been like
The
that forever?
boards has been for a few years, I would say.
So 10.4, as we see it here, mirrors what the supervisors have.
10.3.
7.4 and 10.3, yes. Here's what's in the Board of Supervisors bylaws.
Board has had it probably for 5 or 6 years.
Do what?
The
Oh, the
board
board's
has
had
had it for probably 5 or 6 years.
Is 10.4 similar to language to what they have on the board?
That I don't know. I don't think so. I think 10.4 is the same as what the planning commissions has, because it doesn't have any red changes.
Right.
So that I did not make any changes to. That has stayed. 10.3 is new. I just added that in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what's broken. I mean, has our meetings been so out of order and so uncontrolled that we have to add some more stuff to restrict more speakers?
Quite frankly, I don't want to sit here and listen to non-residents and draw the meetings out.
Right, I understand.
Yeah, all
Okay,
localities
so
around.
I'd be willing to concede the non-resident issue, But that still doesn't address the issue of having to sign up. I mean, typically, you, with good reason, say, is there anybody else that didn't get a chance to sign up? And then let's speak.
Normally announces that.
I know, but according to this,
Which we've always done, they've always had the sign-up sheet in the back, they've signed up anyway, so we've been doing this, it's just not been included in the bylaws.
but we also let people that didn't sign up on that speak.
Not every time,
Not
but
every
yes,
time,
we have.
We have,
And that's basically been the discretion of the chairman.
right?
And the chairman normally asks if there's anybody else
I
that's
know.
not signed up that wishes to speak.
Right.
They can still speak,
Well,
just by signing up.
Should we edit that?
well, if I can be promised that if a citizen comes here, doesn't know that they need to sign up, maybe the meeting started, they'll say something here about tardiness, and they want to be able to speak, and they haven't signed up on that sheet, then we're gonna let them have the chance to speak.
It says right
We need
here,
to
it's at
make
the
that
chairman's
change.
discretion that they can speak.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, then we need to make a change to the wording that's in here, because
Yes.
it does say that it must be provided on the sign-up sheet prior to the meeting being called to order.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying
So
to
we
change.
need,
But we've never enforced that.
So we can fix it.
If we're not enforcing.
That's my point, that's
We
the
should
point,
announce
exactly,
it.
what's so wrong with our practices so far that we have to change it?
In the last line of 10:4, however, the chairman may recognize someone that has arrived late.
And that's just under public hearings, though, that's not under the meetings section
Okay.
of the
just general
bylaws.
comments.
But that also contradicts, that's in 10.4, but that also again contradicts
Contradicts
10.3.
10.3.
So if that is the case, if that's the wish of the commission, then we need to strike where it says prior to the meeting being called to order in both 10.3 and 7.4.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we send the notice out, about CEP or the next two or whatever, do we put in there that people have to sign up to speak?
No, but I always send those out at least 2 weeks prior to the meeting. And it says they can call, the applications are here, they can call with any questions,
Well,
so.
what I'm saying is that, a person could show up in good faith to speak and just not know the procedure. We know it because we see it every month. But someone that was coming in for one particular thing, they would have no way of really knowing the procedure until the meeting's called to order and the chairman says, everybody that's going to speak is already signed up.
Right, they also have 2 weeks before the meeting to make a phone call or check a website or send an email as well.
But the letter says, come to the meeting. If you have,
Or if you have any questions, the information's on our website, you can call with questions or you can send an email. All in that notice.
I just,
that
I
they're
just think
sending
that if someone takes the time to come to one of our meetings, they ought to be allowed to speak.
If they're a county resident.
I
If
think,
they're a county resident, I'll give you that, okay? But
will you be comfortable if we add to 10.3 the same sentence that's in 10.4 about the chairman being able to recognize people that haven't signed up? And allowing them to speak.
well,
Is that what you
Comfortable with that? That accomplishes what you're after, right?
I think that we should change must to should. And then at the line, the chairman has the discretion to allow others that did not get a chance to sign up or didn't sign up or something like that to speak.
I accept that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's important to let everybody speak. We want to hear what they have to say.
Can I make another suggestion?
Yes.
Can we remove prior to the meeting being called to order and stage prior to the public comment section of the agenda?
Making a statement
Right.
on signing up.
Or prior to the end of the public comment section of the agenda, because I feel like we need to remove that section of prior to the meeting being called to order, because again, it still contradicts itself in the same paragraph.
Right, how does that address someone who walks in late, they walk in after that?
Right. I don't want our bylaws to contradict themselves in the same paragraph.
Yeah.
So
how do you think it should read?
if we look at, let's say, 7.4, we're talking about regular general public comments. Individuals of the public desiring to speak during the general public comment period must first provide their identifying information on a sign-up sheet, period. Only residents of Cumberland County or individuals owning real property in Cumberland County are permitted to speak at a removed public hearing at the general public or during the general public comment period. That way it doesn't mention anything about they have to sign up prior to the meeting being called to order or prior to the general public comment period. It just says they have to provide their identifying information on the sign-up sheet.
Okay, so
Because
legit,
it has happened sometimes where the public comment section has come up, the chairman has asked, is there anyone else who wishes to speak who's not had a chance to sign up? They get up, they speak, and I will, as soon as they're done, go and get their information and put it on the sign-up sheet, or after the meeting, I'll go get their information. So that kind of solves that problem.
Yeah.
Does that work for everybody?
Because we'll want to show this on you.
I mean, that's still, we can get them to, provide their information, so. All right, so 7.4,
and I would be okay with them, oh, you want to speak? Okay, great, here, can you sign this up? Make sure we have their information.
Right.
Then they speak.
okay. So again, 7.4 reads, individuals of the public desiring to speak during the general public comment period must first provide their identifying information on a sign-up sheet. Only residents of Cumberland County or individuals owning real property in Cumberland County are permitted to speak during the general public comment period. All right, and then 10.3, individuals of the public wishing to speak during a public hearing must first provide their identifying information on a sign-up sheet, period. Only residents of Cumberland County or individuals owning real property in Cumberland are permitted to speak at any public hearing, period. Does that sound okay? We're okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. And then 10.4, the chairman shall summarize the matter before the commission, allowing technical presentations by qualified persons or firms and allow interested citizens to speak. We're taking out the sentence that says citizens desiring to speak may sign up with the secretary prior to the meeting. And then time allowances will be at the discretion of the chairman. The chairman will accept written statements and other documentation pertinent to the matter being addressed. However, the chairman may recognize someone that has arrived late, and that's specific to public hearings only. Are we all good with that?
Yes,
Okay. All right,
thank you.
no problem. All right, so going back to page 5, Article 9, under Orders of Business, I just made a few changes based on what we have been doing in the past. The way that our agenda has already been advertised. So 9.1.4, we have the approval of the agenda. And then 9.1.7, we have requests to set public hearings. And then under 9.1.3, the general public comment, we have that as 3 minutes per person. And that is all the changes to the bylaws. We've already hashed out everything else.
I wasn't aware that, and 30 minutes total time. So that's
Yes.
basically saying 10 residents.
Yes.
And
Unless
if 12 residents
exception
signed up-
unless exception is granted by the commission.
Say that again, please.
Unless exception is granted by the commission.
I mean, on one hand, we're making changes to allow more people to speak and to sign up. Now we're saying only 10 people get to speak. I'm not comfortable with that.
Doing the general comment here.
During the general comment period, they get 3 minutes each to 30 minutes maximum. 12 people signed up, 2 people aren't gonna get heard.
Do you want to take out that maximum 30 minutes total?
Well, I think we need to take a look at it, and either extend it or take it out, because, what's the point of allowing people to come speak at a public hearing and then saying we only listen to 10
just general public comment, this is not public hearings, yes.
I mean, we've never run into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I've never-
never in my,
We're relooking again at the dome, right? And I expect there to be a mass of people.
and this is just public comments, this is
Yeah,
not
this won't
even
be-
public hearings,
Yeah.
but I will say,
But they'll sign up under public comments for that section.
right, but I will say that in my 20 years
Never happened.
being employed with Cumberland County, I don't remember a single time when the planning commission has ever said, okay, we've reached 30 minutes, we're not taking any more
Right.
public comments.
So why
I
do we have
have
it
no
there?
problem with taking it.
Well,
So why do we have it there?
I don't know.
Okay.
It has been in there since I've been planning and zoning administrator, so.
why don't we say something, because I understand your point, it's never happened, that doesn't mean it's not ever going to
Right.
happen. So why don't we put something in there that, the commission, the chairman, at their discretion can extend it for another 30 minutes or something like that if needed.
Okay. So I will reword this, let's see. So I will take the maximum of 30 minutes total and move that to the end of the sentence
Yes.
and say, at the chairman's discretion. This can be extended an
Like that's
additional
true.
30 minutes.
That's-
Sorry?
If we have more people, if we have 13 or 14 people signed up, at the end of 3 minutes, I want to start pointing darts. So that we can keep, because this is probably there, so we don't run into, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I can make that change. So the sentence will read 9.1.3. Yeah, 9.1.13. General public comment, items not pertaining to a public hearing matter and up to but not more than 3 minutes per person, a maximum of 30 minutes total. This can be extended up to an additional 30 minutes at the chairman's discretion.
Perfect, that's good.
You can solve the sentence to make it, it's kind of funky right now. But you can-
Yeah, I can
The idea is
fix
there.
it. I got you.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt.
Wait. I mean, you can do that, but I have another question.
Okay.
So under Article 2, Purpose 2.1, the primary purpose of the commission serves as an advisory capacity to the board of supervisors, preparing and recommending plans, ordinances, capital improvement programs. We don't do that anymore.
We are supposed to by law,
So that's not what we've been instructed that we can do now.
but
So we either need to change this or we need to take back this authority.
I have pointed that out to board members, and the board members have given the county administrator their guidance that we are to be involved in the CIP, not in. And that the CIP is to request or to be presented to us prior to the county administrator formatting it in a final presentation and just giving it to us. They have had conversations with them going into the CIP budget, and I spoke with Mr. Stimson today on that, and I was assured that we will be back involved in it this year.
Okay?
But this is basically from the state code.
Yeah.
The code was
So
violated
that,
last
so
year.
if that is not followed, then we can crop out.
Pardon?
If that's not followed, then we can crop out.
We can just reject the whole CIP. I mean, that basically is what happened last year when he presented it to us. Well, I guess Johnson called me, about 3 hours before our meeting, said we were gonna have to look at it and approve it, and I was like, that's no way in hell that's gonna happen tonight. And, Mr. Rosen was in the, Citizens Training Academy at the time. As a matter of fact, they had crafts that day on the CIP. And this is taught by representatives from the state. And Cumberland made a mistake. And most likely it was due to the newness of the county administrator, not realized. But the board was not happy with it last year. So it's going to come back the way it used to be.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adoption of the 2025 Planning Commission bylaws as presented with the changes that have been noted.
Second?
Second.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
William Flippin.
Yes.
Okay, we have the meeting schedule.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, on page 7 of your board packet, you'll see the proposed 2025 meeting schedule. Generally, your regular meetings are held on the third Monday of each month at 6:30 in the courthouse, and workshops are held quarterly on the second Monday at 6:30 in the board meeting room in the basement of the admin building. There are only a few exceptions to that, with tonight being one of those, because of the holiday. And then February 24th is also going to be an exception. Let's see. February, yes, 24th, and then January 12th of 2026 will also be an exception.
So, I'm mistaken, why do I think the workshop's always started at 6? Okay.
I think the board sometimes starts theirs at
Yes.
6.
Maybe it's a joint
And when we've had some joint meetings, we've
Joint meeting, okay.
been at
Yes.
6.
So we've got the workshops on February 10th, May 12th, August 11th, and November 10th. And then we do have your regular meetings scheduled throughout the year. So far, January and February were the only two that were not on the third Monday, so. And just while we're talking about meeting dates, over the next 3 months, we do have 2 meeting dates each month.
Special meetings,
Yes, so we've got, tonight we have January 27th, which is the workshop at the school with Green Ridge. We have February 10th, which is your second workshop with Green Ridge at the school. February 24th, which is your regular meeting. March 3rd is your joint workshop with the Board of Supervisors in Green Ridge at the school. And then March 17th, which is your regular meeting and will also be your public hearing for Green Ridge application, and that will also be this week. So we will be busy the next few months.
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of the adoption of the 2025 meeting schedule as presented.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
William Flippin.
Yes.
Okay. All right, may we have approval of the agenda, please?
So moved.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
William Flippin.
Okay, and the request to set public hearing?
Yes. So I have 2 requests for you this evening. The first is a conditional use permit 2402 for the Cumberland Fire and EMS telecommunications tower. You'll find that on pages 8 through 55 of your packet this evening. As part of the radio system upgrades for the fire and EMS system, the county has received a 100-foot telecommunications tower from the state police. and that does require a conditional use permit. You'll find that application in your packet. Originally, on page 13, you'll see a map. Originally, we were looking to erect that tower in the field behind the sheriff's office, almost behind the sheriff's office in the bank. There's a nice flat area that's back there. However, after meeting with the with the state police, we were told that that location would not work, that the tower needed to be at maximum 50 feet from the building itself because of the type of wiring or something with the ice band or an ice break. I'm not sure, I wasn't at the meeting unfortunately. But it needed to be a lot closer to the building than we had originally proposed it to be. So if you turn to page 14, you'll see another map there with a little red star, and you'll see that it is literally right next to the building, behind the building in the parking lot. Again, it's a 100-foot tower. It's a lattice tower, I was told. And this will allow for the wires to be plugged in directly into the side of the building where the IT room is, and it'll also be connected to the generator right there. So this site was chosen when the state police visited on January 7th of this year. So there are also the schematics for the tower that are included from the state police that are in this packet for you. And I'm requesting that we set this for public hearing on February 24th. The next one I have for you is a rezoning. It's 24-02 for the Cumberland Industrial Park. Staff is requesting that, the Economic Development Authority owns the industrial park, and they're requesting that the park be rezoned from M1 industrial to M2. You'll find on pages 56 through 72 of your packet, just a printout from the ordinances that have the permitted uses for both the M1 zoning district and the M2. Staff and the commission have for many years, previous commission members have for many years suggested that this industrial park be rezoned to M2 in order to attract more and different businesses to the industrial park. Also, it's not a request to set public hearing, but just wanted to remind you guys that at the last meeting, we had set the code amendment for the BZA ordinance update for public hearing. Originally, we were gonna have that hearing tonight. However, because the December meeting of the planning commission was postponed, that did not allow enough time to get that meeting advertised or that hearing advertised for tonight, so that will also go to February 20th.
So that's pre-public hearing.
Correct, yes, sir. And that is what I have for you for request for public hearings tonight.
Okay, and we need motions for both of these, or can we do them
You can just do it as one.
together as one?
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
Can you point to me where the M2's allowances are?
Sure.
Oh, here we go, 64, 65
Yes.
maybe? Okay.
64 at the very bottom of the page, it has
Yes,
permitted
okay.
uses and structures, so that's permitted by right. And then midway on page 65 has permitted uses with conditional use permits. So the M2 zoning district allows those uses in the M1. Let's see. So all of the uses that are permitted in M1 are also allowed in
Yes,
M2 as
right,
well.
yeah, I understand that. I was just trying to look and see if there was any wiring issues that might pop up if we did it into. Manufacturing wrong stuff.
Comfortable?
What's that?
Comfortable with that? Sure.
Chairman, I move that we set a public hearing for CUP 24-02 and RUC 24-02 at our February meeting.
Second?
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
William Flippin.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to old business.
So again, I mentioned this a few minutes ago, the Code Amendment 2404 for the BZA will not be held tonight, but it will be held on February 24th. I do have some updated Cox Creek Reservoir photos, and I wish I could take credit for these because these are quite amazing. I obtained them, I did not take them, but they're quite lovely. For the solar update, not much has changed. Construction is still ongoing for the Cumberland Road sites, the Dunn and Rowlett. With, of course, the holidays and the weather, not much has been going on, but I do expect that to start picking up again. So, here is one photo. As you can see on the bottom right, that is the main entrance that's coming in from the dam. And on the bottom left, that is the parking lot for the boat ramp. And this is a little bit farther south on the property. The boat ramp is gonna be kind of bottom right. And you can see kind of just how expansive the reservoir is getting. We are actually at 305 elevation, so it's spreading out quite nicely.
A question,
Yes,
it's just me being strange. What is it in the back center of that photo? Looks like a cloudburst coming out of the ground or something.
Yeah.
so that is a power plant in Palmyra or something.
Really?
It's in another county. Yeah, you can see it.
Pretty clear day.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
This is probably one of my favorite pictures because it's a little bit higher up, so you can see exactly how the fingers of the reservoir are spreading out here. So in the middle of the photo here, I wish I could use a little pointer here, you see the boat ramp, you see the tower on kind of the middle right, and then you see the dam off to the right as well.
It looks like
Yeah.
right off the boat ramp where those trees are gonna be soft.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's gonna be plenty.
That's what I'm looking for.
And I will say, DCR has been waiting to get the fish in there, and now that we've got enough oxygen in the water, I think they're planning to bring some fish in February or March.
Still looking at, what are they looking at? Opening up to people using it.
That I don't know.
I had some people over for dinner the other night, they said, oh, they heard the spring. I said, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty optimistic.
well, I don't know. I wish I could tell. As soon as I know, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So here we have a photo of the dam itself, and you can see the tower here. And if I can zoom in, you can see kind of the water gushing out. It was quite icy, for sure. And then here we have a pretty picture with the geese. The geese would love in the water, so. It's a nice picture of the dam.
That's good, that gives you that idea of the scale of the whole thing.
Yes, yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but there is a truck on the dam on the left-hand side, so, yeah. So those, I had about 75 pictures, and I picked 5. That was the hardest thing for me, was to only choose 5 to put in here, but yeah, those were the best ones I got, so. That's what I have for old business.
Okay,
The television stations had, due to the water crisis last week in Richmond, they had Henrico County had a news story. I think it was Channel 6 or Channel 8, but Henrico addressed the water crisis in Richmond and in Henrico County that they were experiencing, tied it into Cobb's Creek, that Cobb's Creek would be able to release more water and provide the overturning of bad water that was at their water treatment plants. I think they were just trying to sell
Yes.
their $288 million that they said they spent on Cobb's Creek.
new business.
All right, so we have, unfortunately, Mr. Simpson is not here with us this evening, so we'll go on to the planning department monthly report, which you can find on pages 78 through 82 of your packet. So we currently have 4 pending applications. Of course, we have the CUP 2401, which is the Green Ridge Recycling and Disposal Facility, the CUP 2402, the Cumberland Fire and EMS radio tower, REZ 24-01 Dowdy et al., which I believe the board will have their public hearing on tomorrow night, and then REZ 2402, the Cumberland Industrial Park. For the month of December, of course, it was, I don't want to say slow, but between the holidays and snow days and things like that, we weren't as productive, I would say, as other months. But we did have 1 commercial accessory zoning permit issued, 3 residential primary, 3 residential accessory, and 3 farm structure permits issued. There were 2 subdivision plats approved, and we have 43 pending. There are 6 surveys of existing lots that were approved and 26 pending. Still have 3 commercial E&S projects open and 1 residential E&S permit that was issued. And then, of course, on the bottom of page 80 and the top of page 81, you'll see other potential code amendments that will be coming down the pipe as well. For the building inspections monthly report, you'll find that on pages 83 and 84 of your packet. For December, there was a total of 32 permits issued. Total fees collected of $3,247.28. Total estimated value of the projects were $394,292.23, and a total of 8 certificates of occupancy issued. Year to date, there was a total of 922 permits issued. Total fees collected of $187,948.16, for a total estimated value of the projects of $44,311,641.65, and a total of 84 certificates of occupancy issued. So a total of 84 new homes that were finalized in last year. And that's what I have for you.
I think 80 of them were going to buy our house.
I'm sorry?
I think 80 of those 84 were going to buy our house. Okay, any general citizens' comments this evening?
I have a comment. I didn't sign up tonight. I did not sign up tonight.
That's okay, I'm gonna let you speak this evening.
Appreciate it.
And I didn't bring any darts, so.
I'm Betty Myers. I live at 577 Deep Run Road. I found your discussion about the bylaws very interesting tonight, because if y'all would attend the board meetings now and then, you would know that the board changed their bylaws in January of last year. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking. Any commissioner comments this evening? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn to our workshop on 27 January 2025 at 6:30 at the Cumberland Middle and High School cafeteria.
Second? Second.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
William Flippen.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.